The Jets win streak finally comes to an end. The Jets losing to the Patriots 22-17. Here are my top 5 takeaways. Welcome to Jets Talk. My name is Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, let's jump right into my top 5 takeaways. Not going to gloss over this one too much. I want to get into a few things here. Jets lose 22-17 in what really is kind of a heartbreaker of a game. We shot ourselves in the foot both from a turnover standpoint, from a penalty standpoint, and just across the board, not great, but let's jump into it. My takeaways. Let's go over some of the positives. There were some positives that happened in this game. Garrett Wilson, 6 receptions, 115 yards. Tyler Conklin, 6 receptions, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Denzel Mims having a little bit of a sighting, had a nice long reception, 2 receptions on the day for 76 yards. On the defensive side of the ball, defense played pretty good. You have 6 sacks from the defense coming from Quinton Williams, Michael Clemens, Carl Lawson, JFM, Shepard, and Jacob Martin. So 6 sacks on the day. That's pretty rock solid. Michael Carter II had himself an interception, and he had what was the biggest play of the game negated by a really, really stupid penalty. A pick six gets prevented because of boneheaded penalties. We'll get to that in just a second. Now on to some miscues. Greg Zuerlein missing a kick. I think it was a 43-yarder they wound up missing. That basically put it so the Jets needed to score 2 touchdowns at the end of the game. This is why every kick matters. You have to be able to make every kick. There was a situation later in the game where the Jets had to go for it on 4th down, weren't able to kick the field goal because of that missed field goal earlier in the game. So that was rough. Braden Mann had himself a bad kickoff. I don't know if he slipped on it. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was like a bad squib kick that like the Patriots got the ball at like the 40-yard line. Like just a head scratcher of a decision there. That was pretty frustrating to see. And then for me, the penalties were huge. There weren't many of them. There were only 4. The Jets had like 11 penalties last week. This week, the Jets had one that I think was incredibly stupid. Not on us, but I think on the way of the ref. I don't think it was what they deemed it to be, and that was the C.J. Mosley roughing the quarterback or unnecessary roughness. Mac Jones tucked the ball and ran, running for the first down. He knew if he slid feet first, he wouldn't get the first down. It was like, he got hit right around that, what would have been a 4th and 1, 4th and inches kind of play. C.J. Mosley cracked him, hit him right at the line to gain. And they called an unnecessary roughness, helmet-to-helmet hit. I completely disagree. I think when your quarterback runs and he puts his head down, he should be a fucking runner, and I don't think you should really flag that. So that had me fired up. I'm not so mad at C.J. Mosley for that one. He did have an opportunity for an interception at one point, and that I'm more upset about that. The John Franklin Myers one, though, this is the one that people are going to look towards because Michael Carter II got his 2nd interception. This one would have been for a touchdown. Jets were going up 17-3 at half. 17-3 at half, and John Franklin Myers launches his body at Mac Jones' upper body head area. Just a completely reckless, moronic move. Cost us the game. This is at least the 2nd time that a penalty from John Franklin Myers has cost us a game, and not even just, I shouldn't say cost us a game, but really was the catalyst to swing everything the opposite direction. And then he had the weird, hit out of bounds in preseason too. Like, this guy's like a dumb fucking player as far as I'm concerned with like the penalties. Like, smart dude on the field, like great player, like has some really amazing physical talent. But where the frig is his head at? Like that, it just grinds my gears to watch these stupid penalties. Like, these are penalties that you can avoid. Like, it's not even a bad like yardage penalty. It flipped the game. Oh, JFM, what are you doing, dude? Get your head on straight. Stupid penalties. Then we're taking a look at our running backs. We have a new running back in the room. Obviously, no Breece Hall. Michael Carter was our lead back today, had 11 touches. I believe he had 2 receptions as well. So he had a total of 61 yards on his 11 touches. Robinson had 5 rushes for 17 yards. So if you're doing the math, not great on a yards per carry type situation. Not to mention, like, you're talking, I think between Robinson and Carter, there were 12 rushes. Ty Johnson had another 2, so 14 rushes. You're telling me the friggin' Patriots gave up 250 rushing yards less than a week ago. Like, they're on a short week. You couldn't get more yardage than this? That's horrible. The fact that you're only running the ball that many times on a team that just showed you exactly the recipe on how to beat them, I don't know. That had me burnt up. There was a little bit of like down and distance situation that kind of got us into a little bit of problems. We had I know Garrett Wilson had a pre-snap penalty that pushed us back 5 yards. I want to say there was one other one that was also similar, maybe a holding penalty that pushed us back a little bit. But that's no excuse. Got to be able to run the ball better. Can't be getting 3 yards a carry here. So hopefully we get to see that kind of turn up a little bit. The offensive line, the left side seems okay. We did have 2 sacks coming off that right-hand side, and I don't know how to fix that at this point. We don't have any tackles. We're on our backup guard already. Like, I don't know. I mean, they obviously tried to have some backers, had some tight ends on that right-hand side trying to provide some relief, but it just did not come. And then the big story for today, this one coming about Zach Wilson. Obviously had himself a day as far as yardage goes. The box score looks okay. 20 of 41, that's 49% completion percentage, 355 yards, that is a career high, 2 touchdowns, the 3 interceptions, and he did have 2 sacks on him. This was a rough game for Zach. And I'll say this, the first 2 interceptions weren't necessarily bad decisions. I think they were the right decisions, just bad throws, which doesn't necessarily make it better. But the first interception being it was the slight overthrow, like right read. You saw the running back in the flat, kind of hopping off his back leg, throws the interception. Not good. Bad pick. The interception along the sideline, the one where he was throwing the ball away and McCourty I guess he got his knee in. I didn't think it was in. I thought that was going to get overturned. I did not think it was an interception, but that was the back-breaking one. That was the worst of the 3 interceptions as far as when they could have happened in the game and where the Jets were competitively in this game. That was a bad one. Really, really bad. The 3rd interception, he's playing hero ball. Really an awful decision. There is no one even close to Zach Wilson, from like a wide receiver standpoint. Like there was like 3 Patriot players around this. There was not a good throw. Horrible decision. I don't want to say the game was out of reach, but dude, 3 interceptions, 3 turnovers. That's bad. When your defense is playing as well as they're playing, 6 sacks. Holding the Patriots to 22 points, 5 field goals. You held them to 5 field goals. And at least one of them happened after your interception. So like, I don't know the right game plan. As much as I want to see Zach win us a game, like it'd be cool to have won that game based on Zach's statistics. And like, it sucks. It's like the running game. I think it should have been the focus. I mean, you saw how the Patriots kind of folded last week against the Bears. And Zach Wilson was just put in situations and making decisions that were just not good. He had a lot of throwaways. Then I'm sitting there watching the game. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I see you're whipping the ball out of bounds, but like, there's got to be people open. Like he wasn't running for his life the entire time, but I want to see him get better. And going against Buffalo this next coming week, I don't think you're going to see that. Like, this is frustrating. What do you do, right? Like, you're not putting Flacco in. There's no like upside in Flacco aside from him being like a baseline stable-ish quarterback. Like, he's not escaping the sacks. We probably would have had 5 sacks if Flacco was back there. Same thing with Mike White. Like, as much as I like Mike White, probably like 5 sacks. Guy's not mobile. But we probably don't have the interceptions. So you take the sacks, negate the interceptions, maybe that results in a win. Strevler, but he wasn't even active. I thought when they brought up Strevler, I was like, oh, they're totally going to use the running game. The exact way we saw the Ravens run up 117 yards with Lamar Jackson. The same way we saw Justin Fields go for 82 yards. But no, they didn't do it. So it's frustrating. Zach had himself a bad game. I am not as like pulling my hair out, I think, as some other fans there. I've seen some really bad takes on Zach Wilson right now, but I don't know. I want to see what you guys have to say. Do you think Zach is the sole reason we wound up losing this game? Do you think a quarterback switch is something that the Jets should be considering? What were your overall thoughts on the Patriot loss overall? Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.